Hello, future people. We're doing a recording today. I'll be in the space by myself, but I'm happy to share it with you when you watch and practice in the future. My name is Caitlin. If you haven't practiced with me before, and if you have, welcome back. It's good to see you. We're going to go ahead and get started for our 45-minute practice today by coming into a comfortable cross-legged seat, or truly any seat that suits your body's needs today. That can include sitting on any props, pillow, folded blanket, blocks, or coming into a different position with your legs. You always have the option to lie on your back. If you do so, keep the knees pointed up towards the sky. So let's find what feels comfortable. Maybe you try a few things out, maybe make some adjustments. And then we start to settle into a seated position. You may already feel a little lighter and a little taller, just finding that sweet spot. Sit up nice and tall by keeping the shoulders over the hips, lifting out of the pelvis by sending the tailbone down into the ground and lifting from the chest. Earlobes sit somewhere above the shoulder area. Meaning we're not leaning our neck forward, we're not leaning our neck back. If you haven't already, we'll use our natural filter, inhaling through the nose. If you need to familiarize yourself with the breath by breathing into the chest for a little while, that's okay. We'll make our way to breathing down into the belly once you feel acquainted with your breath today. Belly button moves towards the spine on the exhale. And then let yourself find a natural rhythm. Something that feels maybe a little less forced. This may still be applicable when you watch this in the future, but today, in the present, it feels very much like autumn. Crispy, overcast, sweater weather. And we can feel that emotionally, mentally, and even physically. The seasons of change, the transitions. And the transitions, whether through seasons, through life circumstances, through poses in yoga, are where we have the greatest opportunity to practice grace. Not only to others, but for ourselves. I feel a necessity to stay here a little bit longer today. So that may be a need that I'm feeling from one of you. That may be a need that I'm feeling from myself. Maybe from someone close to me in my life. But I feel like honoring that and spending a few more minutes here in our meditation. Relax the jaw, let the teeth separate. Tongue grows heavy. Feel the weight in the hips, pulling us closer to the earth, deepening our connection to the ground. Feel the neck grow a little longer, spine lifting us a little taller. When we give ourselves the space, things may start to rise up to the surface, peeking through the window, knocking on the door, whatever turn of phrase you want to use. Maybe a feeling, maybe a reminder, a memory. Maybe it's a message from yourself, a loved one, or even your higher power. Showing up in this space means that we're meeting those things where we're at, acknowledging without attachment. Simply feeling the feeling. Stay with your breath. Anchor back through your breath when the mind wanders. We're here for 5 more cycles. After your next exhale, with the eyes staying closed, fingertips come down in front of the crossed legs. And slowly we start to walk the hands away from the body until we feel a comfortable fold from the hips. Maybe forearms come down to the earth with the palms as we drop the forehead and crown towards the mat. One more breath cycle. And on the exhale, we use the heel of the palms, strengthen the arms to gently, gingerly lift us back up to a seated position. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels natural for you. Otherwise, we'll gently open the eyes to a soft gaze. Hands come to the knees, palms face down. We're going to take some spinal circles just to warm up the fluid in the spine. So belly button shifts over towards the right thigh, right knee. Chest leans over the right knee as we swoop the chest. Chin juts out through center until belly button and chest are over the left knee, left thigh. As we round through the spine to complete our circle, chin drops to chest. Here we go again. Over right leg, through center, over left. Dropping the chin. You may feel some cracks and pops. Your body singing as you move, thanking you. Move as quickly or as slowly as you need to, as long as we are doing our movements intentionally. On the back end of your circle, we pause and we take it in the other direction. One more. Back end of your circle, we sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. Letting everything sink on the exhale. Hands drop to the outside of the right thigh as we unravel the legs, coming to meet in our tabletop position. Adjusting whatever you need to. I love jeans and a hoodie in the fall, yes, but shorts and a long sleeve shirt or shorts and a sweatshirt, that's my favorite combo. My legs love to be free. Coming into our tabletop position, we're setting ourselves up for success here. So shoulders right above the wrists, knees right underneath the hips, gaze is straight down in between the pointer fingers, keeping the neck nice and long. Belly button is drawn up towards the spine, creating stability in the low back. We're pressing away from the mat, lifting out of the shoulder joints, pressing down through the tops of the feet or through the curled toes. Last but not least, we breathe through the nose. And then we move. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail. Gaze comes forward. Stay here for a breath. Stay for your next inhale. Exhale, we curl the tail, rounding through. Nice and slow, intentional, meticulous. Here for a breath cycle. Let's do one more inhale. Slow exhale in your cat. And inhale sends you to cow, dropping the belly, lifting the tail, gaze lifts. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, we round through. Dropping the chin, pressing away from the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, we walk fingertips to knees as we curl our way up. Arms come up overhead. Wide V, shoulder blades pinch together and then drop down the back body. Chest is open. Pelvis, fronts of the hips are in line with the knees. We're active in the hamstrings and the abdomen. Big inhale. Exhale, we slowly start to send the hips onto the heels. Hands come wide at our sides, dropping behind us, right at the feet. As we drop the palms down to the earth, maybe fingertips forward. We lift the chest, chin comes up towards the sky. Shoulder blades are pinching together, a nice widening in the chest. Exhale, pressing into the tops of the feet. We lift up onto the fingertips, rising back up, arms swing forward as we rise back to our starting position, wide V. Big inhale. Exhale, we drop the hips towards the heels. At the same time, we're bending forward at the hips. Arms stay nice and wide until we fold forward into prayer position. Palms come down to the mat as far towards the front as you can reach, and we drop the forehead to the earth. Big inhale. On the exhale, we press into the tops of the feet. Maybe crawl the fingertips a little closer to the front of the mat as we curl through the back. So we're bringing shoulders over wrists like we're in cat. Getting zenned out already. And then we let the tops of the thighs continue down to the mat. Elbows stay straight, high cobra. Pelvis, low abdomen, chest are all lifted off the mat. Big inhale, chest is lifted, shoulder blades are pinching together, heart space is wide open. Big inhale. Exhale, we lower halfway. Pelvis and low abdomen come in contact with the mat. Gaze is forward, elbows are tight to the side body. Big inhale, exhale, lowers you all the way down to the earth, forehead kisses. You need to adjust the hands so they're more comfortably right underneath the shoulders. Please do so. They can get a little wonky in that transition. So part of having grace in those transitions is recognizing when you need to adjust and forgiving yourself for that. So forehead against the mat, we're going to take a couple baby cobras. So shoulders are pulled away from the ears, elbows tight to the side body, tops of the feet are down against the ground. If you want to do a little tap, 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 waking up the feet. Knees are engaged so that we're active through the legs, encouraging a firmness in the glutes, but not a pinching, gentle tuck of the pelvis towards the earth. Inhale, we press through the palms, lifting the chest, chin stays tucked until the last moment we rise. Gaze is forward. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale. Rise. Taking it nice and gentle. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale. Exhale, lower. Forehead kisses the mat. Excellent. Inhale, lift the chest slightly just to drop the elbows right where the palms were. So elbows come right underneath the shoulders, palms face down on the ground. Chest is lifted, gaze is forward, Sphinx pose. We're pressing into the elbows and lifting out of the shoulder joints so we're not dumping our weight here. We're not turtling down our neck, but instead lifting, pressing into the earth, lifting out of the shoulder joints. Neck grows nice and long. Palms are wide. You'll notice today we're taking things nice and slow, nice and mindfully, intentional. creating space for our body to be heard. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we're turning our gaze over to the right shoulder. And then dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exaggerated stretch in the left side of the neck, the front and top of the left shoulder. Noticing where our body is trying to communicate with us first, and noticing second, the way the breath is interacting with the body. One more inhale. Staying mindful of our elbows, our shoulders. Exhale, drops you back to center. If you need to drop the chin slightly, take a few neck rotations, that's okay. If you need to release in the shoulders and take a moment to rest forehead on the ground, that's okay. We find our neutral starting position again, big inhale. Exhale, gaze comes over towards the left shoulder. And then we drop left ear towards left shoulder. Noticing how this side feels different. Noticing how the breath interacts with the body differently on this side. One more inhale. Exhale, we bring ourselves back to neutral. Big inhale. On the exhale, hands replace the elbows as we lower down, forehead kisses, toes curl, and on the inhale, we send ourselves back up to all fours. Big toes come together, knees come together as we send the hips back to the heels. Forehead kisses down to the mat. Arms can either stay extended out past the crown, or maybe we send the hands back behind us towards your sweet feet. Allowing the shoulders to fully round forward, surrendering to gravity, or surrendering just to the moment, to the position, knowing that your mat and your body are here to support you. One more inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, we start to move, bringing the hands above the crown, pressing into the tops of the feet. We curl the spine, towards the belly button, coming back into our tabletop position, toes curled. And on the exhale, we're sending the hips up high for a downward facing dog. If you need to adjust when you get there, please do. Taking a moment to interact with and acquaint yourself with your body in this position. Maybe it's been a really long week. Maybe you haven't shown up to practice for a little while. And your body needs a moment to acclimate. One more breath here. On your next inhale, we slowly start to walk the hands towards the feet so that we meet in a forward fold at the back edge of your mat. Opening your eyes, take a look at your feet, your sweet feet who do so much for you. Taking a moment to say an extra hello, maybe an extra thank you. And we drop the crown towards the mat in a juicy forward fold. Taking some gentle sways, keeping those knees bent, arches lifted so that we are fully supported in our feet. Maybe you shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Excuse me. Still detoxing the last bit of my illness out of my body. If you've been with me consistently the last couple of weeks, I have a pretty terrible head cold that really knocked me right on my butt. And so here we are. I'm feeling much better, but there's some bugs that need to get out apparently. Inhale, we slowly start to roll our way up to mountain. Arms come up overhead when we get there. Palms kiss together. Descending right at the heart space. Let's take our eyes closed for a breath of rest, letting the blood settle. Inhale, arms go down, coming up wide at the sides, up overhead as we bend at the hips and fold into our forward fold. Gentle movement. Inhale lifts you halfway. So you can lift halfway, or in the spirit of being gentle, let's use our hands. Knees bent, hands walk up the legs to the tops of the thighs, and then we elongate from the crown down to the tail, elbows tight to the side body. Oh yeah. Exhale. We fold with the knees bent, hands come down to the mat as we slowly start to walk ourselves back out the way that we came until we find ourselves again in our downward facing dog. Inhale, we lift the right leg up high, opening the pelvis towards pelvis and front body over towards the right. Right toes reach over towards the left. Big inhale. And on the exhale, hips square back off into our downward dog, but right foot, instead of coming back to its original position, is going to step off the left side of the mat, and we grow heavy in the right heel, bending in the right leg. Excellent.
Inhale, coming out the way that we came, heel to hip. As we straighten the left leg, pelvis again reaches over towards the right. Big inhale. Exhale, we step the right foot up in between the hands, letting the back knee drop. Top of the foot slips down to the mat, or we keep the heel, or excuse me, keep the toes curled towards the mat, whatever feels right for your body today. And we send our breath into the front of the left hip. We're light on the fingertips, or we've risen up and we have hands on the top of the right thigh. Exhale, we heel toe, the right foot over towards the right edge of the mat. Toes point away from the body, so we've got this big space we just opened up in the right hip. Both hands come to the inside of the right arch. And we place palms face down. We're pressing into the right foot. It's within your practice to drop the elbows here, or maybe you want to bring the ground up to you with some blocks, please do so. On your next inhale, we grow heavy in the left palm as we turn onto the outside of the left leg. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Pressing down firmly through that right foot, we help to lift the knee, lift the hip. Exhale, we square back off. Right palm comes down. We heel toe, the right foot all the way over towards the left edge of the mat. Gently dropping that right knee and shin down to the earth. We start to settle into a one-legged sleeping pigeon, walking the back leg behind us until we find a comfortable position. Comfortable, but not too comfortable. We should definitely be feeling activity in the pelvis, the hips, the left thigh, low back, but no pinching, pulling, pain. We sit up nice and tall. Sending the breath down into the hips. We're not going to fold forward today. We're going to stay right here, sitting up nice and tall, chest is lifted. If it feels more comfortable to lean forward a little bit with palms on the mat in front of the body, let's do that. Otherwise, we're light on the fingertips, lifting out of the pelvis, using our foundation to keep us light. Exhale, if you're not there already, we drop the palms down to the mat in front of the body. Curling the back toe, we lift the back knee gently. We're drawing the front foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog. Awesome. Taking a breath cycle here to notice how it feels on the right side, how even the left side feels more open. Here we go. Inhale, left leg lifts, heel to hip as we open the front body over to the left toes over to the right. One more inhale. Exhale, we shine the pelvis back down towards the ground as we drop the left foot off the outside of the right side of the mat. Heavy in the left heel, we bend the right knee. Inhale out the way we came, left heel to left hip. As we lift again, opening the pelvis, front body over to the left. Pulling those left toes over to the right. Arms are long and strong. Inhale. Exhale gently. We step left foot up in between the hands, dropping the back knee. Foot flips or toes stay curled, up to you. Heel toe, the left foot over to the left side of the mat, toes point away from the body. We drop both hands, both palms toward, flush with the mat, or you can stay up on the fingertips if that feels good. Maybe again, building the ground up to you with some blocks or books or a laundry basket, some pillows, whatever. We're pressing down through our foundation, through the left foot, creating lots of space, as much space as we can between the crown and the tail. One more inhale. Exhale, we shift the weight. Inhale, we turn to the outside of that on the right leg, left arm opens up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Exhale. Left hand replaces back to the mat. We heel toe, the left foot over to the right side of the mat. And we drop that left knee. Adjusting on the back leg as we move the back foot away from the body until we find our comfortable position. We reacquaint ourselves with the breath, sending it down into the hip, asking it nicely to surround the hip, to soften and open the hip, the low back, groin, shoulders draw down away from the ears, shoulder blades pinch together. Chest is open. Exhale, we drop the palms and drop the palms to the mat in front of the body. We roll onto the outside of the left hip as we let the right leg swing around to the front body. We're coming into a staff pose. Let's close off the hips real quick before we meet where we started. So arch to arch, toes reach up towards the sky, legs are straight or slight bend in the knee. We sit up nice and tall. Exhale, we start to reach towards the toes, bending from the hips. So we're pulling the femur bone back into socket and letting that space right at the hips be where we move from. Exhale, maybe you fold all the way down, forehead bows towards the body, towards the knees. Inhale, we roll back up to a seated position. Let's take a cross-legged seat where we started our practice. Sitting up nice and tall, let's take a last inhale together. Big release, exhale through the mouth. Thank you for practicing with me today. As always, thank yourself for showing up. It is the most difficult thing we can do sometimes, especially in seasons of change, especially during transitions, and especially when we're trying to give ourselves grace. Thank you. I will see you next time.